This morning, defending its dancers after their body image became the target of a brutal review in a Sydney newspaper. A critic took aim at the dancers' weight, labelling them unusually thin.
Yeah, the ballet has slammed the paper for their commentary as calls grow to have the review removed from the publication's website.
For more, we're joined by the Australian Ballet's artistic director, David Holberg, and artist Benedict Beme, as well as psychologist Deirdre Brandner in Melbourne. Good morning to all of you. David, let's start with you. You see a review like this. What did you think?
I actually felt quite protective of the dancers as artistic director. My responsibility is on their mental health and well-being, and it's words like these that we as an organization don't use anymore. And so I was really concerned that it triggered something in them. We're trying to change terminology like thin and fat and out of shape and in shape. And we're focusing more on the quality of movement and honestly the art form in general. So we're really trying to change the narrative.
Yeah, you came out very strongly. Benedict, take us through the idea of something like this when you read it, what it means for you as an artist, and you're just working on your performance.
Yeah, I think it can be quite hurtful. I think, as David was saying, we're doing a lot of work in this space. We've had a lot of really frank, open conversations, and people have been really vulnerable and shared their stories to try and work out how we can create a safer environment. And a lot of that has resulted in the use of different language. So it feels like we're like feeling really proud of ourselves, and we're making these steps forward, and then sort of for someone to sort of quite casually make a remark like that, it's sort of it's a bit frustrating because you're like we're trying so hard and we're doing the work here, and yet someone can say that, and it kind of feels like it can unravel what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of, does it feel like it's from a bygone era? Like, haven't we worked so hard to get away from judging people on their bodies?
Exactly.
We are. And, in sporting codes, we don't judge athletes on their bodies. We judge them on the way they play the sport. And that's the narrative that we're trying to change in this art form. It's not about how a leg looks. It's not about whether someone is too fat to fit into a costume. It's actually about the quality of their movement, which we just need to evolve as an art form, and we felt the responsibility. We've done a lot of work within the organization. We've developed a body image and disordered eating guidelines on terminology that we use and don't use. And we really invite everyone to join us, not just the Australian Ballet, but the people that really enjoy and write for this art form.
And commend your bravery for coming out, David. Let's go to Deirdre, because as we heard from Benedict there, it can be personally harmful, these sorts of comments. Take us through how damaging it can be.
We know, and all our studies tell us, that any sort of comment on body image has ongoing mental health effects. And that's not just for children and teenagers. It's also been shown to be very harmful for adults moving forward, as the focus is on appearance and not on the overall person and their sense of self-worth.
Yeah, so there's a real lesson here for all of us in society, isn't there?
Absolutely, and we all need to be accountable. We all need to be pausing before we post, thinking before we speak, and making sure that we're mindful of that person overall, and we move away from this focus on presentation and body type.
And call it out, as David has done. Deirdre, thank you for your time, David, and Benedict, and all the best with the ongoing show as well. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.